In the future, humans have cracked the code to eternal youth through genetic technology. Everyone's body stops aging at 25, but from that moment a one-year countdown begins. When time runs out, you die instantly. In this world, time is the only currency. To survive, people slave away for the upper class. They trade their time for more time. Poor folks from the ghetto like Will can never get ahead. Every morning, Will wakes up facing his death countdown. His original lifespan ran out long ago. Now he's down to his last day. He has to work non-stop. Stop working and he dies. Next to him is a woman who looks about his age, his mother. Today's her 50th birthday. To surprise her, Will worked overtime for days. He barely managed to trade for a bottle of wine. But they don't even have time to celebrate. Mom only has 3 days left. Half goes to rent, 8 hours for utilities. The rest pays off debts. Every day is like walking a tightrope. That's life for the poor. Work time's coming. Will rushes out the door. He wants to grab breakfast, but finds even the cheapest coffee went up. From 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Prices change daily. The streets are full of people arm wrestling for their lives. Too many losers to count. Bodies line the streets and alleys. Nobody even blinks anymore. Will works at a factory that makes time containers. These devices extract time from people's arms. They can also deposit time. They're used for all transactions, including paychecks. Will works all day. Payday comes, but the supervisor docks his overtime. Says he didn't meet production targets. Will can only curse under his breath. After work, he hits the bar with his friend. Out of nowhere, a century-old rich guy shows up. This dude's buying drinks for everyone. His flashy display immediately catches time thieves' attention. Will's got a good heart and wants to help. He sneaks the rich guy out the back door. They hide in an abandoned building. But this 105-year-old millionaire doesn't want to live anymore. He's enjoyed every pleasure life offers. To him, time is just an empty number. Immortality didn't satisfy him. It just left him feeling hollow.
If you had as much time as I had on that clock, what would you do with it?
I'd stop watching it. I can tell you one thing. If I had all that time, I sure as hell wouldn't waste it.
Maybe Will's fighting spirit moved him. Maybe he saw another version of himself in Will. Henry decides to give this poor kid a chance to challenge the wealthy. Next morning, Will wakes up and Henry's gone. A note on the window says, "Don't waste my time." He looks at his arm, 116 years added. Meanwhile, Henry sits alone on a bridge. He quietly waits for death to come. By the time Will gets there, it's too late. Security cameras caught him leaving the scene. Now he's got over a century on his arm. Will knows the ghetto's too dangerous now. Stay any longer and he'll end up dead on the street. He decides to take his mother to the rich zone. Before leaving, he doesn't forget his best friend. He generously gives him 10 years. That evening, Will's mother rushes to the bank after work. She's got a loan payment due, but the bus fare suddenly doubled. From 1 hour to 2 hours. She only has 1.5 hours left. The driver won't budge. Passengers just stare coldly. She has to get off and run to the bank for a loan. But the bank's already closed. Desperate, she runs home. Same time, Will's waiting at the station with flowers. He never sees his mother. After the last bus leaves, something feels wrong. He drops the flowers and runs the opposite direction. At an intersection, they finally meet. But Mom only has 10 seconds left. Mom's urgent shouts make Will realize the danger. Just 1 second short, he now has 100 years. But his mother is gone forever. Will's determined to get justice in the rich zone. Next day, police find the millionaire's body. Detective Steve thinks it's murder. He notices the camera overhead. While he investigates, Will puts on a suit. His first time in a taxi. The driver's suspicious at first. Will shows the time on his arm, and the driver's attitude instantly changes. He serves Will like a servant. But getting to the rich zone means passing checkpoint after checkpoint. First one costs a month. Second costs 2 months. 12 checkpoints total. Just tolls alone cost Will nearly 7 years. He stares at the rich zone's skyscrapers, stunned. Getting out, he starts running out of habit, but after a few steps, he stops. He's rich now. No need to run to save time like in the ghetto. On the street, he sees a stunning girl, but insecurity keeps him from looking twice. At the hotel, a regular room costs 2 months per day. The clerk looks at him arrogantly. Will books a suite instead. That's rich people energy. The suite even brings him some romance. He doesn't know police already identified his face. Cameras didn't catch how the millionaire died. But Will was the only one there. Steve marks him as a suspect, because he spent years fleeing to the rich zone. Looks like running. Next morning, Will wakes and checks his arm out of habit. Confirming it's not a dream, he relaxes. Then he goes to the suite's restaurant. A girl named Lisa lives here. She watches Will's every move. This guy's always in a rush. Totally lacks that slow, rich person vibe. Even the waiter can tell he's not local. Will's a bit embarrassed and asks casually. He wants to know the best spots around here.
The casino.
Can anybody go?
Not dressed like that. Good luck.
Will ties his tie and enters the casino. He's dressed like the waiters. Only after showing his arm balance do they let him in. Will only knows poker. He doesn't realize this table's full of sharks. One guy opens with a 50-year bet. That's half of Will's fortune. The stakes quickly hit 650 years. While Will hesitates, Lisa walks over. She's wearing black stockings, sitting next to the other guy. That man proudly shows off 10,000 years. For pride, Will goes all in. Now he's down to 29 seconds. When cards flip, he has 5 seconds left. Can he win? Follow me for the next episode. This movie is called In Time.